All right, welcome into the Jets Afterburners podcast. What is going on, everybody? My name is Liam. I am being joined by Luca. Dan is unavailable tonight. Our backup co-host Armand is having some technical difficulties, but he will be here shortly. So I guess we have the third string backup co-host. We got Luca in the house. Luca, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good, doing good. Busy week, if you're a Jet fan, it's been quite an interesting week. Obviously, you start with the loss on Sunday to the Minnesota Vikings, and you see the fall off from that. Monday, nothing much happening. Jets are traveling back from London. Tuesday morning, you get the news that Robert Saleh is fired, which has stunned all of us because normally the Jets don't do in-season firings regardless. Now we learned today that the Jets are changing play calling duties, and obviously we're going to take a look at the injury report. And also, Hassan Reddick is taking him upon himself to ruin his own career. But regardless, I'm hyped up for Monday Night Football. I think it's a must-win for the Jets if they really want to get bounced back this season and if they really want to buy their fans back in, should I say.
Yeah, earlier today, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to do a show, just running a couple minutes late. And then I was like, you know what? This, in all seriousness, might be one of the most important weeks in recent Jet history. I'm like, I gotta get out here tonight. Just like the amount of everything going on this week, from Robert Saleh getting fired, like you said, the whole Hassan Reddick thing now, Devontae Adams is possibly on the back burner. Like, there's just so much stuff going on that we have to do something, So this is
Absolutely.
such a big week, and I guess we could, just kind of go through the week, starting off with Robert Saleh getting fired. We did a show earlier this week. You were on actually, so you know all about it. Now that the reports have kind of come out, players are still willing to play for him. I can't remember who was it. Was it Sauce that said that today? I think it was Sauce that actually said that we're still gonna play hard for Robert Saleh even though he's not in the building. Aaron Rodgers declines anything that he had anything to do with getting Robert Saleh fired. So, just what are your thoughts on this whole situation so far?
I mean, with the Sauce stuff, in terms of what he said, we're going to still play hard for Saleh. That's he should turn his attention to Ulbrich now, in my opinion. And I think, Ulbrich's the coach. Play hard for Ulbrich because he, the defense is Ulbrich's unit, and Ulbrich is now taking the head coaching spot. But I guess maybe Sauce thinks that the team let him down overall, so maybe he feels a little remorse. But regardless, in terms of the Rodgers aspect, I don't think he had nothing to do with it, but I don't think he had all to do with the Robert Saleh firing. I mean, you just start back in June when he said, or I should say when Robert Saleh said, regarding the Aaron Rodgers trip to Egypt, it was an inexcused absence, made the Jets look bad, made Rodgers look bad, all that stuff. And then I think the second level of this was when Robert Saleh post-game press conference after the Bronco game says, we don't need basically saying we don't need the cadence. I can't quote verbatim, but we need to change things up with the cadence. Meanwhile, Rodgers has been doing the hard count his entire career and been successful in getting defenders offside. So I think that ticked him off a little bit. But I mean, if even the Vikings game, you just look at Rodgers' body language on the sideline, it was not positive whatsoever. And that was really, in terms of the entire team, the whole sideline was lifeless. And that was the biggest problem under Saleh. Your team as a coach takes on the personality of you. If you're lifeless, your team's going to be lifeless. If your team's fired up like a Dan Campbell, or I should say if your coach is fired up like a Dan Campbell, you're going to be fired up. So it just doesn't seem like there was a lot of energy on the sidelines, trying to fire somebody up. So it's lack of energy, lack of accountability, a bunch of other things, but that's what I got to say.
Yeah, it's a good point, and we're gonna get into much greater detail in a second. I wanna bring on our backup co-host. We got Armand. Armand,
Up
what's going
Armand,
on, dude?
What's up, everybody? How do I sound?
you sound good. You sound fine.
You
I'm
sound
on
like
my
your
phone.
wonderful self as always.
Laptop fixing itself, so hopefully I can get onto my laptop in a few. But Luca, you were spot on. This team, and what, like Liam, you said, what does Salah do? I mean, let's go back a few years to the Jaguar Thursday night game
I was there.
in France.
I was there too.
Doug Peterson is talking to Trevor Lawrence before he gets before he goes onto the field about what they're going to do on the drive. When did we ever see Salah with Zach or any player talk to them on the sideline? Whether it's they make a mistake, whether it's, unless it's positive, you see him jumping up and down.
Of course.
Yep. Like I said the other night, he was the most expensive cheerleader on payroll. That's really all he was. And it got to the point where now here's the thing, like, I like Saleh. Like, he's like a but, like, it feels like everybody, like, when talking about Robert Saleh, feels obligated to say how good of a guy he is.
Hmm.
It's like, he's a good guy, but, he's a terrible football coach. He's an awesome man. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but, like, you don't need to be a nice guy to be a good football coach. I mean,
Absolutely.
look at Belichick, look at Sean Payton, like, the list goes on and on of, like, these, like, of, like
Parcells.
yeah, of, like, for lack of a better term, like, these asshole head coaches. Like, it's okay to be, like, a little bit of a hard ass. That's fine. Like, you don't be a complete prick to everybody, but
Right.
I don't know. I mean, like, I wanted it to work out. I really did because, like,
Of course.
I the way that, like, his defense plays, and I get, like, a lot of that is Ulbrich, but the reason that Saleh hired Ulbrich is because they kinda run, like, the same system.
Hmm.
I'm not a 100% convinced that, like, the offense is gonna fall off now that Saleh's gone, but do you see, how do you see, like, maybe, like, any negatives impacting this team with him gone? Or do you think it's 100% all positives?
I don't think I think there's only gonna I think, there's gonna be some positives. I'm sure there's gonna be guys in the locker room who miss Salah because Salah, as we just mentioned, was that guy. He was that glorified cheerleader. He was, as you said, Liam, the most expensive cheerleader, we could find. But he was that front runner guy when things were going well. He was, rah rah dancing. But when things went south, he was never the guy like, you know what, guys, we got to steer control of this ship. He was never that guy on the sidelines. He just looked lifeless, as I mentioned earlier. But another thing you mentioned, Liam, when you talk about coaching personalities, I don't think it's black and white. You have obviously your side of Salah, who is very nice, but doesn't apply his standards, like too much of a nice guy, wants to be everybody's friend. Then you have the other side, which is too much of being an a-hole like a Joe Judge, and which,
Yep.
he can't relate to the players. But I think there's a middle ground in which guys, obviously like a Dan Campbell or a Sean McVay or Shanahan or whoever, get involved and say, you know what, I'm going to make a relationship. I'm going to work my best with these players, build a relationship. But I'm also going to tell them, hey, guys, don't step over this line right here. This is
Yep.
not where to cross. Don't cross this line. Let's set our boundaries and that be that. And we can all be happy with successful winning. That, I think, is the ideal coach in terms of a mentality and a mindset.
And you try to
Yeah.
keep it in-house first. And if that's not going to work, you tell them, look, if I have to call you out publicly, I'm going to call you out publicly.
Yep. Yeah, and some players deserve it, but, just kinda, like, moving on, like, Afram had a good point here, like, what the Salah era is over, like,
Yeah.
obviously, we had to touch on it for a couple minutes here, but, like, we are now into Jeff Ulbrich era, and I kinda get the same vibes with Jeff Ulbrich that I do Dan Campbell. I mean, obviously, Jeff Ulbrich has a lot to prove, but just as, like, a fiery guy, like, when I just feel like they have a lot in common. Do you guys kinda see that?
Yeah, I can see a fiery side of Ulbrich. I mean, we have yet to see his more steady side when it comes to head coaching. When we got to obviously see him during the game. He's usually calling the plays, but like, I just want to know his mindset when let's just say the offense goes 3-and-out for like 2 straight drives. Like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna stand on the sideline? Is he gonna go over to the offense and say, "Hey guys, what's happening? What's not working? What do I need to know? What's going on? What adjustments need to be made?" So, but also, yeah, I could see the Dan Campbell side where you're getting at, Liam. But I think we'll officially see obviously on Monday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there Monday night, and to be honest with you, like, even if I was, like, watching on TV, I have no idea what to expect. I really don't.
None.
Like, I have no idea how to even preview this. I don't know what team's gonna show up. I don't know what head coach is like, what version of head coach is gonna show up. I have no idea. I mean, we've seen Ulbrich on the sidelines before. At least he has a play sheet in his hand, so, like, either
Right.
way, we're getting an upgrade, and I don't think he's gonna be running up and down the sidelines. I don't think he's gonna
No.
be running the
Let's hope he
bleachers
has
before the game.
a defensive play sheet in his hand.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because he's gonna remain defensive coordinator as well, so, there's a lot to get into with this, because not only that, just another something, like, interesting about this game, I wanna pull it up here. The Jets are gonna be wearing these beauties. Well,
Absolutely. The
like
jerseys I grew up with. But
yeah, me too.
I also want to add a point, Liam, real quick. And a lot of people were mentioning this as well, in terms of the Salah firing. And this is not like, this is a part of the Salah thing, but it's not because we're obviously moving into Monday's direction. People mention, what's going to happen to Hack and all these different things. Maybe the defensive players are motivated and like, hey, you know what? This new head coach made an adjustment with the offensive staff. And they said, you know what? We're not firing Hackett, but you know what? He's not going to be calling plays anymore. And maybe that motivates the defense in a way and says, hey, you know what? Changes are coming on offense. There's level accountability.
Yeah. So, Armand, I'm gonna ask you first. What differences, if any, do you see with this offense, now that Hackett is not calling plays?
I'll tell you what I want to see. I
Okay.
want. I don't think we're going to see a lot of motion because it's more of that's a Rogers thing. Now I could see like a little bit of motion and a little bit of stuff. I think maybe hopefully this helps out Brees, but I want to see Corley in there. He better not be inactive.
Yep.
Use him. I don't care if you use him on the outside in the slot, jet sweeps, some trickeration. Show us some creativity. I saw a tweet after they announced it about Downing, or maybe it was like when it was rumored before today. Like Downing's not that guy. Like he loves to run the ball. So we might be stuck with run pass. Let's hope.
I mean,
We've
here's the
seen
thing
that
as well.
before.
You guys are absolutely right. And here's the thing though with that, obviously I saw that tweet from Connor Hughes, I think it was, who tweeted it out. But regardless, he's got to realize he has a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, meaning Downing. And he's also got to realize there's also a bunch of weapons that he has at his disposal. Corley, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard, hopefully he gets less reps. Garrett Wilson, Braylon Allen, Tyler Conklin. I think this is the most weapons that Todd Downing has had as officially becoming into a play caller. Like when he was with the Raiders, he had Michael Crabtree. He had, trying to think of the other names that were on that 2017.
Amari Cooper
Amari Cooper.
Second year, Marshawn Lynch at the end of his career.
And also, as well, you're absolutely right, Arm. Like Downing has to realize with a sense of self that, you know what, this running game has not worked. And Keith Carter, obviously, he's not going to call it out officially, but he said, Keith Carter's not doing his job. The blocking, there's a lot of miscommunications on the offensive line. I think they're both 28th in pass and run blocking. So at the end of the day, they have to clean this stuff up midweek. But at the end of the day, he's got to adjust that run pass approach.
Plus, I'll say for Downing going into Monday, Morgan Moses is going to be back.
That's a very big help.
That's a plus for him. Because that will hopefully help out the run game, not just for Braylon, but for Brees as well.
Vary the types of runs. That's a very good point, Barney.
Yeah, 100% it is. And that's something that I want to see as well. Just like you said, I want to see both running backs out there at the same time, first off.
Yes.
At least on certain plays. And another thing I want to see too that a lot of people aren't talking about. Well, I guess people are, but that we haven't touched on yet is just not just with the offense, with the entire team, accountability. And that's something that us Jet fans have been praising for the last couple of weeks, that there is none in the building. There's no accountability. So on offense, if you're screwing up, you might get pulled for a series or two, come here, get off the sidelines. It's, something simple like that. And it's just, we can't keep going this way. That's what it was. We cannot keep going this way, doing the same things over and over and not getting anywhere with them. So the accountability is going to be the big thing. And then we heard that all week in the meeting room, during press conferences and everything else. Aaron Rodgers mentioned it on Pat McAfee. Jeff Ulbrich specifically said it, during his press conferences this week. So it's something that I feel like that's going to change. I really think that there is going to be at least like
I
some
hope
sense
so.
of accountability. What's
Like
up?
the example, Tyron Smith having those 2 penalties, I think, a few weeks ago. Like if he was to have that, I'd like to see Ulbrich when the offense is going on back on the sideline, tell him, "Hey, we're going to sit you for right now. Like I'm going to count you, and then put Olu in, and let's see what Olu does at
Right.
left tackle. He's having mistakes or whatever. Then you go back to Tyron.
Yeah.
You got to hold every player accountable, veterans, young guys, because once you show favoritism, it's not going to help out the rest of the team, both offensive and defensively.
Because
Hey,
there's a
listen.
lot of young kids on this roster who are learning from these veterans, like Olu from Tyron Smith, obviously Braylon. Brees is obviously not a quote unquote veteran running back, but false start penalties on Brees. Like, do you really like? There's again, as I said, there's a lot of young players on this team. You really don't want to give them the bad idea. You don't want to apply a double standard.
Real quick, I'm gonna have to restart my laptop. My mouse is frozen here. I'm trying to click on. I'm trying to bring Afram on, but I can't. So I'm gonna need you guys just to be co-hosting for a minute here. I'll be right back. All right.
Alrighty, no problem. So, Armand, also to mention, obviously, they changed the play calling and Todd Downing this week. Obviously, he's had some success with he had somewhat limited success with the Raiders. And, like, how much do you, like, I'm trying to think of a thought here, but, like, how much do you think of in your honest opinion, do you think of as an upgrade is this? Do you think that, or is this your opinion, that the Jets just need this to be done?
It worked
It's
actually.
a
I didn't. I just had to shut it off real quick. I'm gonna bring Afram on. Sorry for the
so
distractions
based
here.
on hi Afram.
Hey.
So as I looked up Todd Downing's like statistics as an offensive coordinator, as much as the whole offense going down the field has to do well, I looked at what his scoring was. And so in 2017 with the Raiders, they ranked 23rd. Then his first year with the Titans in 21, they ranked 15th in scoring. But then his final year in Tennessee, they ranked 28th. But his last year, he did not have AJ Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and he did not have Julio Jones. Now, obviously, Julio's at the back end of his career, but that's a big difference. If you look at his first year with Tennessee, he had those two guys, of course, with Derrick Henry, and he had Tannehill for both years.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that his red zone numbers are like really good. I think he was like top 7 in both years. But again, they
So
got to get to the end zone there, to be fair.
this wide receiver core, hopefully, I would assume with the talent in this wide receiving room, this is much better than what he had his last year in Tennessee. Obviously, the upside of the running backs, because they're all so young, hopefully they can produce like Derrick Henry.
Yeah, absolutely.
We should talk about the biggest story right now. The Rangers beat down to the Penguins. That's what
Yes.
Shut up!
Yes.
Shut up! Now that didn't piss me off.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Good job, Afram, especially with the with Armin had his like happy hope that the Mets won yesterday, but he also had the Rangers kicking the crap out of the Penguins. I was watching both.
He's
games.
always going to say it, but I congratulated him on the Mets. So
Yes, congratulations, Armin, on the Mets.
I didn't know if I should wear my Rangers hat or my Mets hat tonight, so I went with the Jets. I'm like, you know what?
Wear the Mets hat. It's the playoffs.
sure wear the
Okay,
Mets
it was opening night for hockey.
It's right over
And
there.
trust me, by the way, my head coach should be fired. He should have been fired. It's my second point with Sullivan.
All off season long, like once we found out like this was week 1, like you were talking all this crap to me, oh, they're gonna beat the Rangers, this and that, and now all of a sudden, oh, the coach should be fired.
what do you think he's going to tell you?
Imagine if you had two. Yeah, I know. Imagine you had 2 coaches and like 2 of your favorite teams fired in the same week.
Oh,
My
and the Mets made the NLCS. I wouldn't be here. I'd be out celebrating with strippers. Just don't tell Dan I did this on the show.
I hope he's not watching. I won't say anything. Your secret's safe with me.
we all sworn to secrecy.
Yes. So
Go
Afram,
Go Ulbrich, baby.
yeah. So the thing I wanted to talk to you real quick about is now, like, with Sal out the door, what changes are you expecting to see with this coaching staff and with this team in general heading into Monday night?
Well, listening to Ulbrich's speech, he kind of said he wanted to have the offense take on his personality, which telling me he's gonna make he's gonna instill what he wants to see. You get a lot of, you see a lot of these, everyone, why didn't get rid of this guy? Why didn't get rid of this guy? Fire this guy, fire this guy. But what are you going to do? Fire your entire coaching staff? And how are you going to replace them? Right?
In the middle of the season, no less.
Yeah.
But that's what your head coach is for, is to come down, make your coaches accountable. Now, they also got to know that if you can't make it with this team, at the end of the season, you're gone. Good luck finding a job. Okay.
You think so?
Oh yeah. If you can't do nothing
100%.
with this lineup, and you're lame in what you're doing, do you think someone's going to hire you next season?
You think Hackett's going to get a job in the pros or even in college? I mean, look at Adam Gase. He's back in high school. That's where Hackett might be. That's why Hackett had no problem, saying, listen, I'm going to support Todd. I'm going to support Aaron. I'm going to support this team, because he's going to want to learn something from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see if anybody's going to be out of a job, it's going to be Hackett. I can definitely see him out of the NFL once Rodgers is gone, because he's just god awful. I mean, how he even got a head coaching job is ridiculous.
Because they wanted Rodgers.
They wanted Rodgers.
Yeah,
it didn't work. Because the thing is, he didn't even call plays in Green Bay. He called just the red or the gold
red
zone.
zone. Yeah,
red zone.
So he really didn't even make Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers was already made well before that, but he didn't even really elevate Rodgers' game. And the thing, a lot of people are saying that Todd Downing is a worse play caller than Nathaniel Hackett, which I mean, it's going to be a wait and see on that. But at the end of the day, it's Rodgers' offense. He's going to go up to the line and just change whatever he needs. I'm not too worried about that. But with that being said, I'm going to bring on Johnny Boy. What is going on?
What's up,
brother?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, John?
Johnny.
Armand. Hey, first off, Armand, how about them Rangers, baby? How about them Rangers? And then, oh my God,
you guys are Met fans. How you going against each other at this point?
Oh, and I'm so happy with the Mets right now.
We're all on the same page except for Armand.
Yeah.
It's too early to bust chops on hockey. It's only the beginning of the season.
No, but he started first. Armand started first.
Hey,
with the
1994 to 2017.
He's too lovable to go after him.
Talk to me when your team wins the cup in this century.
We're working on it.
Hey, I saw them do it in '94. Okay,
there you go.
I did.
I was 7, but it's okay.
I was -4, 5, something like that.
I was 10.
It was 30.
But but my team won 5 cups in my 39 years of living.
I don't think I've really seen any of my teams ever win anything. I mean, the closest I've ever seen was, or most recent. Well, yeah, I mean, besides the Rangers in the playoffs, but I mean, I saw 2015 with the Mets, coming close, and then all my teams have just come close. I was 11 years old the last time the Jets were in the playoffs. I do remember it, but I was a little kid. But yeah. So Johnny Boy, I guess I'm kind of asking around everybody. I'll get your thoughts right now. What's the biggest difference that you're expecting to see with this coaching staff and this team now that Ulbrich is head coach?
I'm expecting Ulbrich to. I'm gonna say Brick. I'm expecting Brick, right, to curse out Clemens if he comes out of the side and hits somebody out of bounds and could causes a flag.
Unless it's Deion Dawkins.
Even then, Dawkins is not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want some stability inside the actual head coaching. Because look, my whole thing with this, right, being a head coach in any up north team, it's tough. You have to have a certain, a-holeness about yourself, right, to be there, because people are gonna consistently say you should have done this, you should have did this, you should have done that, you should have done this. And I'm hoping that Break turns it around. Am I excited? Am I happy about the whole move and everything? No, I'm not, because he was part of the sinking ship. They just, one captain went ahead, they made him walk the plank, and they gave, hey, You're the captain now. You know, fix the holes that are downstairs and all the water is coming in. He needs to prove it. And you started by winning this upcoming Monday.
I think also his hands were tied in the sense that, you know, if he wanted to make the players accountable, Salah wouldn't let him. You know, as a head coach, it's his way, so you have to abide to that. You know,
At least publicly speaking, yeah.
yeah. So let's see what he does. Let's you know, he's unknown right now. I get a feeling that he won't tolerate it. He doesn't seem like the type that's going to tolerate it, and there's no one's gonna say anything to him because now he's the head coach.
Right.
So this
So
should
three
be
things I'd like to see from Brick on Monday from a defensive standpoint: a little more man instead of zone.
Yeah.
By the way, Armin, I just want to say real quick, great first point with the defense. Bill's receivers struggle against man coverage, tight man coverage being that. So good point.
Number two, stop relying on the rotations. Rely on your starters. Rely on your stars. There's too many times on third downs where Quinnen wasn't on the field, or like you had the third rotation line on there when you needed Quinnen to be in there.
Let's see if he does the rotation. That's going to be interesting.
I think he will. I just don't want him to rely on it and always do it.
Right.
Like it's an important. Like if you're on third and short, okay, Quinnen should be out there. He said Fotu should be back.
Right.
And
There should be back to help with the run.
Fotu, by the way, I just wanted to provide this. I'm sorry to interrupt, Armin. To you guys' point, he actually had a full practice today.
There you go. Yeah, it should be. I'd like to see more blitzing as well.
That was my third thing. More blitzing.
Rewind that a little bit, Liam, so he does it. I don't.
No, good. You took the words right out of my mouth. More blitzing.
One of the big things that I want to see is this. I want to see what move is he going to do since Mosley's going to be back. Mm-hmm. Is he going to go ahead and start Mosley, or is he going to keep Sherwood? Because Sherwood is a brick guy. Mosley was a solid dude. And real, like, honestly, when I saw the Mosley interview, Salah, he was still having Salah's back. He was still talking in regards about Salah and being like, hey, he gave me a second chance. He took a thing on me, blah, blah, blah. But then you got the other guys that are there are kind of making jokes in regards to the stuff about like Salah and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see, because if he takes out Sherwood and puts in Mosley, then it's the same stuff. He's the whole, you're my friend, because you're here, I'm going to scratch your back, you scratch my back. Don't say nothing bad about me, and during the press conferences and things like that. So that's one of the biggest things that I want to see what happens on Monday night.
To Johnny Boy's point, Mosley actually said in quotes, Quincy's he was talking about Quincy Williams, when he talked about accountability. He's like, Quincy's an emotional guy, and that's great, but I don't think we lack accountability. And that's one of the leaders of the team.
Yeah, one of the captains. Yep. I think they do. I really do think that they lack accountability. At least the head coach does, Yeah. So, I mean, like, I get, like, you're trying to be positive and, like, you're trying, like, as the captain, you don't want any headlines coming out of your locker room. Right. So, he's trying to clip that in the butt right away. But, I mean, let's be honest. Like, and now is the time where they should be honest, where, like, it's perfectly fine and acceptable right now for them to come out in the media and be like, yeah, you know what? Like, we can do a better job at being accountable. We could hold each other accountable. There's, like, now's the time to be honest. Like, you don't, like, it's kind of like a fresh slate for everybody. I mean, it sucks, like, 2 and 3, which we're still playing for first place, so it's not that bad. Like, the season's not lost. Even if we, like, where was the quote here? This comment right here, like, I kind of disagree. Like, if they lose to the Bills, like, the season's still not over. Like, you might not, like, win the division and get, like, a home playoff game, but, like, you still have a chance to sneak into the dance. I mean, it's going to be hard and, not ideal, but it's not over, which is why I kind of commend Woody for doing this move now, where it's not like he fired Salah week 12 or something like that. Like, there's no chance.
That would have been same old Jets.
Yeah,
same old Jets.
Exactly. Ulbrich, just take over the ship and evaluate what you can. Like, no, we have a win now team where Woody, he cares. And like Woody kind of shut us all up. Like all like the narratives that Woody's cheap and he doesn't care about winning. He only cares about tickets. No, Woody's getting older. He wants to win. He wants to bring a Lombardi to one Jets drive. No doubt about it. So as much as like we want to crap all over him, I give him a lot of respect for this move.
Yeah, it'll be intriguing to see too with Brick, right? When we're like in the goal line and he gives the ball to Braylon instead of trying to feed Brees because he's been the workhorse that we've had here for
Doesn't
years.
wanna hurt feelings.
Like
Also.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I want to see. I want him to, be a coach and say, no, this guy's hot. We're gonna keep feeding him the ball and keep giving that. Nobody is bigger than that actual Jets
Exactly.
symbol itself.
Play to win the game no matter what.
Exactly. Because we haven't won anything.
No.
It's been so long, right? That like Dan said it perfectly, right? The other day when I was on myself with my uncle, we were talking about it in the regards to the whole Aaron Rodgers pushing, Salah and everything after we scored. Nah, A-Rod was like, I've been here. I've done this before. Dude, why are you getting so happy of a touchdown that we should have gotten? Been here, done that before. Let's go, keep it moving, go on to the next play. Am I going back down there and getting 2 points, or are you sending in the field goal unit to be able to do that? So those are the things that I'm looking forward to see it. I mean, he did the one thing, the demoting of the Hackett, that needed to be done, and that was like all right, check. He did that. You caused no more drama inside there. You nipped it in the bud right then and there, and you said, you know what, this is my ship, and if it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down with me at least trying to keep it afloat.
And
That's
his
the
way
biggest
too,
thing, yeah.
and
Go
his
ahead,
way
Luca.
too is sorry to interrupt, Liam, but you know what? Just to figure, even past this year, let's just say the Jets, tear it all down. Ulbricht's still looking for a head coaching job. Probably he's probably going to be interviewed, so
Right.
he's going to want his second chance.
Yeah, at the very least, it's like head coaching experience where he can go on and get like a really prominent role, like with a really good like win now team with even as a defensive coordinator. But like another thing I want to see too is like like Saleh said that he was kind of putting his hand into the offense this year, which looks completely the way it did last year. So I don't really know what he did. I think he just sat in on a meeting or two. I kind of want it where Ulbrich doesn't take his head out of the play sheet. Like call your defensive play, offense, get over here. Aaron, like coming into halftime, Aaron, sit next to me. Team, like we address, like go over things, make adjustments in game. Like we can't wait and then just get it to a point where like Monday morning or Tuesday morning in this case, Bill's a really good team. So that's done. We're supposed to be a good team too. Like that doesn't mean we're gonna win every single game. And like the defense was not the problem these last couple weeks. Like it was all like these 2 losses were within one score, only a couple points. So the defense is still doing their job. The offense, I think it's going to be at least like a collaborative effort. I think Hackett's still going to have like a little bit of say, but ultimately it's Aaron Rodgers' decision.
Absolutely.
Now I have a question. Was anything said of Downing's going to be on the sideline calling plays or up in the booth?
Nothing was. I don't remember hearing that.
I don't think anything was. I don't think anything was said about that, Armin. But all I know is what I saw was that Downing's in charge of the game plan this week. He'll be calling plays. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see that he's on the sideline. I want to see Ulbrich and him next to each other, even with Rodgers.
I agree.
Ulbrich is not the long-term answer. I mean, he might be. Like if they go on a run this year, do you see them keeping Ulbrich next year if they get into the playoffs?
It's also big. It's a big thing if Rodgers comes back. If Rodgers comes back and says, hey, I want this guy. Not saying that we should be 100% of the word of Rodgers, but you know what? Let's just say this team goes, 11-6, and they make a run. Surprisingly,
and see how they respond. Basically,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying after him.
You got to see what players will have Ulbrich's back. Like, does Garrett have Ulbrich's back? Does Sauce? Does Mosley change his tune and have Ulbrich's back? Sherwood, Quinnen, like, are we gonna have that Raiders situation in the offseason, how Max Crosby came out and said if they don't hire Antonio Pierce, I'm going to request a trade. Devontae going along with Max and trying to get back Pierce. Like, are we going to have that situation this offseason with
Yeah.
Ulbrich and the players? Because that's going to go a long way.
Yeah, there's a question here. Who plays for the Jets first, Reddick or Devontae?
I don't think Reddick's playing.
No,
I
I
don't.
think
I don't want him to play at this point. Like honestly, like I'm over Reddick.
I think
Truthfully.
Reddick is done.
When the agency drops you, there's something wrong.
But yeah. I
His
think
father, according to Tiki, didn't Tiki say like he heard that it's his father that's has his ear and has him held out?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, but I mean, I wasn't looking for it either. I
Does-
didn't really do any
Does it
digging.
make a difference if he's following him? He's doing it wrong. So basically,
100%.
he's the one that's getting hurt by it. So
Hey, Liam, to answer your
What's up?
question in regards to what you were talking about with the whole like, Ulbrich situation and the players and stuff like that, is he gonna be here for next year and all that? I think winning, right, gives him that. And if he wins out and we're in the playoffs and we win a playoff game, I think he's here no matter what. Because I mean, for Aaron Rodgers to say I love Brick and all that, and then you get all other players coming around say I have the respect. I respect him. He was a player and he played it at such a, high level and stuff like that. And this is coming from like that whole group of captains that are there. That stuff means something. I just hope he doesn't. I hope we don't get what Salah did. Salah in San Francisco, he was a rah-rah guy. He was the real like in your face stuff like that. I hope Ulbrich doesn't go to the Salah with the Jets where he was just look beat down consistently on the side, moping around. He scored a safety and he gets all hyped up over 2 points, but we're losing by like 16. You know, that's what I want to see, man. And I hope he does that and he continues, but he needs to prove it and all that. If Devontae comes here and when Devontae does come here, and let's just say he signs for, I don't know, 2 years, and if he works his contract or whatever, that to me means that Rodgers is going to stay here 2 more years because he's going to want to run it back with them, right? And he's going to want something that's familiar. He doesn't want a whole rebuild. He's too old for it, man.
Yeah, he
At-
can't survive a rebuild.
At that point, he's going to say, hey, man, I'm retiring and I'm going to retire as a Green Bay Packer because I didn't do shit with the Jets over here.
Yeah, so I guess like the next question is, does Robert Sal? I guess I'll pass it to Luca first.
Well, I
With
was gonna
Salah's
actually
firing,
post up
what's
Vinny's
up, Armand?
Can you post Vinny's comment again?
Yeah, it's
Which of
about
Ulbrich in
Antonio
2025? This one?
yeah.
Yeah. Vinny, Hackett's here because of Rodgers. That's a player getting a coach here. So Rodgers, if Ulbrich's not here because of the other players, Rodgers is going to have say on who the head coach is next year, and it might be Hackett. Sadly, it might be Hackett. We're not out of the woodworks yet with Hackett.
It's a good point.
So,
Luke, I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead, Armand. I'm sorry.
and what established coach is going to come here for 1 year of Rodgers?
You're getting a coordinator. That's how it is.
Like,
Give me Ben. I want somebody young. I want somebody that's offensive minded, right? Because you could get a good defensive coordinator, man, and be able to put up with the guys that we have and be good. I'm tired of the defensive coaches constantly, and we've been there. Give me somebody that is going to, open up the field. And I mean, look at this. Look what he's doing. What's his name? That's for the Vikings right now.
O'Connell?
Yeah, look what he's doing with Sam Darnold right now. And then the way he's utilizing Aaron Jones and stuff like that, just opening it. I'm watching the San Francisco game, right? And I'm seeing the way they're using Debo, right? Coming and running a wheel route. Why can't we do that with Corley? Something very easy and simple. That's not difficult to run. And he's done it multiple times. Let him see. Let's see what we have in him. Surprise us with something.
and that was Salah's thing. Doesn't like to bring in players. Maybe he didn't like him. Did the same thing with
Mims,
what's his
Elijah
name?
Moore,
Yeah, the wide receiver that no one liked, but every time he went in,
Denzel Mims.
Denzel Mims. Every time he went in, he had like 30 yards, 40 yards. It just didn't. And Elijah Moore
Yep.
didn't give him the play time and this and that. You know, he
Yeah,
talks about being a player's, but he doesn't want to discipline them. But when he doesn't like them, they stay on the bench. They don't
That's
get
alienating.
okay. So there's no that's you can't
I
play
mean,
both. You can't play that.
former running back Michael P. Ryan tweeted out right after Salah
Yeah.
got fired.
Yeah.
did he? I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
he
either.
actually, Liam, he actually tweeted like, Salo and his staff were very defensive minded. They never gave me a chance. They alienated me, and he deleted it obviously. So maybe that's why you didn't see it. But he basically kind of not gonna say went full scorched earth, but he told his side of the story. He's like,
He was
oh, that
big.
makes perfect sense.
Salah was more defensive he was more friendly towards the defensive players
Yeah.
more than
Now-
the offensive players.
Do you guys see Malachi Corley having a role Monday night now that Salah's out of the door?
I can hope so.
I hope so.
I'm gonna say yes.
That would again be another move that I could see Ulbrich saying, "Hey, this is my team," and all that. We're gonna let the young guy run and see what we have with him. Because I feel like we get these players and they'll go somewhere else and they look 20 times better, man. And we're like, we were just utilizing them wrong, and it sucks. And it's
They get used. They get used. They get
Mhm.
used properly.
And I think besides Corley being a rookie and all, the quick passing game is going to be so crucial to Monday night's game because the Bills are going to come in like a bunch of hungry dogs, knowing that Rodgers is limp on one leg. They're either going to blitz him or they're going to put their corners in man coverage. So the quick passing game, they're going to know that Rodgers wants to get the ball out. So Corley is going to be one of the factors for that, hopefully.
Yeah, I want to start seeing the rookies besides just Braille and Allen. I want to see some more Davis. Maybe even a little bit of Stiggers. From time to time, because Sauce might be a little bit banged up. Like they're not saying he's banged up, but like he had that nasty head injury. People are saying that he had a concussion. I guess he's okay, but this is like the second time this season where he's had to come out for quite a few plays. So
He
I
might
want
not
some
have
insurance there.
harder. According
That's
to
true,
Ulbrich, it went from an ankle to a back injury now. So we might be seeing Eccles in the slot or Stiggers.
I'm cool with
Maybe
Eccles too.
JD.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with Eccles because it seems like Eccles is like one of those players that anytime he's on the field, he makes a play. So,
Absolutely. He's
sign
got
me
an
up
eye
for
for the
that.
ball.
Yeah, he does. So, Luca, like the question I'm going to ask you real quick is,
Absolutely.
and I'll get to the rest of you guys in a second here too. With Robert Saleh out of the building now, do you guys or Luca, like, do you see that impacting the Devontae Adams trade rumors?
I'm going to say no. I think this only pushes Woody and Joe Douglas to really trade for Devontae Adams because they said, you know what? This is it. This is our year. We said it from the beginning. Salah wasn't it. So you say, you know what? Maybe the Jets do give in to the Raiders' offer because apparently Adam Schefter went on McAfee and said the trade is going to be delayed another week to Devontae Adams' injury. Maybe he comes
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he maybe comes and goes to the Jets when they officially play the Steelers next week, regardless. But I think this is only going to push them further. Now, will the Jets stay in their demands, say, you know what, we'll give up a third-round pick instead of a second? Or will there be a time crunch and say, hey, you know what, the season's getting late early. Let's go trade for Devontae Adams. He's the solution. We'll give up a second-round pick.
I think the biggest thing is too is like how badly do the Raiders want him off the team? That's really what it comes down to, because it might get to a point where if he's holding in the middle of the season, you know what? Fine, we'll take the third round. Just get him out of here, something like that. So Armand, what do you think?
I don't. I think it depends on how the offense plays on Monday.
Okay.
How do the wide receivers look under Downing? Not just Garrett, but Mike Williams, Lazard. Is he going to keep dropping passes? Does Corley play? Our Gibson. How in sync are they going to be with Rodgers? Because let's say they're winning their routes fine, but they're not in sync with Rodgers. That might force Joe to make that deal. Rodgers might go to him after the game, might go to Joe Douglas personally, or might go to Woody personally, give him the phone call late at night, like, get this Devontae trade done.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see something like that because a lot of people are saying that like adding Devonte Adams doesn't move the needle a whole lot. I disagree. I really think it is because especially on offense, like one of the biggest problems on this offense, it's the drops and guys not getting open. So you're bringing in a player that already knows the system because like at the end of the day, we keep saying it doesn't really matter who's calling plays. It's Rodgers' offense. So Devonte is going to find a way to get open, and he's reliable hands. That's what he is. He's going to catch the ball. That game, we had that game. We had both. We had the Broncos game and we had the Vikings game. If we just had a couple more passes, a couple more catches, and that's what we're gonna have with Devonte Adams. You kind of know what you're getting. Johnny boy, what do you think?
I want Devonte Adams. If it takes a second round, do it. We have 2/3. Why not? You already have a player that has the built-in chemistry with him, which is the issue that all the other wide receivers are currently having with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you see it in there. Like Alan Lazard, right? With him and Rodgers. He's always looking back because he thinks that he's gonna get the ball every single time. You're not seeing that from Garrett. We're not even going to talk about Gibson. Mike Williams is still trying to figure it out with Aaron Rodgers. So you got two of our premier wide receivers right now that don't really have that chemistry yet with Rodgers. But you bring a guy in like Devontae that could go ahead and accelerate that. And now you're going from having one player that truly has chemistry with Aaron to two. And for myself, I remember during the summer camp, the training camp and whatnot, Devontae and Garrett, they would talk.
Yeah,
And, Garrett was constantly trying to pick Devontae's brain about Aaron and all that. So for myself, it's you make it happen, and if it's 2 years, like I said again, right? You got Aaron Rodgers for 2 more years. Why not? We haven't had a quarterback that's been this good and I don't know how long. The reason we were so close to potentially winning these last two games was because of Rodgers. If we had, that person that I do not like saying his name back there, he wore number 2, right? You think guys that we would have had a chance? Nah, man. Like, so you bring Devontae, bring him in, get him over here. And I think Woody is down to do whatever needs to get done because he sees the window and it's closing.
it's true. And last but not least, Afram, what are you thinking?
Absolutely. You bring in his talent.
Yeah.
He's tremendous talent. As simple as that. I
Now,
don't
do
care
you
what
guys?
people say. They don't. They always make comments about the Jets. They could have all the talent. Guess what? When he's scoring touchdowns, he also had you had some of these analysts saying that the uh, Patriots were going to run all over us. I didn't see that happen.
It's
You
true.
know, uh,
Do you guys think that Corley can be part of the trade? Or it might not even be to the Raiders. There could be like a team that we're not even thinking of right now.
I,
Do you
I
guys see a
I agree with
situation that he gets
Armin. It's
traded?
all picks. It's all picks. They
It's
want
all
picks.
picks.
I
Teams
agree.
won't pick players.
That's it. They're all picks. They just want
That's
picks.
true.
I just
Because
can't.
right now Corley is an unknown. We don't know what he is. Nobody knows what he is. So it's like, do you like really want to bring him into the building? Now he could be like the next Randy Moss for all we know. Like we don't know. That's a bit of a stretch, but you guys get the point. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you're getting in him. I think
Yeah.
that teams are going to want somebody that they can evaluate themselves.
You also want as many picks as you want. You can get because you can use those to trade up to get a
Right.
player in the first round.
Yeah,
You
good point.
get impact players, not just a bunch of guys.
Hey, I tell you this when right, other than like Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, and all that, I had them very high for us to pick them. I was like pounding the table to get Corley because I live in Virginia, right? So it's kind of like hardcore out here. So we'll
Yep.
see a lot of these Kentucky games, and I remember seeing him like not just last year, but years before when they talk about like his route running and stuff like that. He had it. They changed coaches. I think it was Western Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, and he implemented a whole completely different offense where they utilized him a lot more like a Deebo Samuel, and he just flourished even more. So he learns very quickly. I hope that they don't do it. It'll be foolish because he's in a rookie contract,
Yeah.
right? And it's low, and he was with Aaron Rodgers inside of his guest house. He's doing all the stuff the right way, right? It's just that again, for some reason, he's been mimsed. And that's what I call when somebody's bench. He's been mimsed, right? What's the reason?
You got Joe Douglas spending 25 minutes making phone calls to move up to get this kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
That
You
is
know,
a good
and
point, too.
I was thinking about this. There's some players that Douglas brought in, and he's not playing them. So I'm wondering if there was some, animosity towards each other to say, "Hey, look, I'm bringing you quality players. Why aren't you utilizing them?" You know,
That could
Maybe
be
they
a
had
good point, too.
maybe they had beef or like a falling out, and Salah's thing was,
or is that a falling out? It's just he's gone. I'm not really, I'm not sad about it.
Or they had that conversation, or he had that convo with Woody and said, if this thing starts going south super quick and we're not 4-0 in the very beginning of the season, right? We have to get rid of him. Like, he has to go, and they knew in regards to it. Look, I think this was a long time coming. I think we all said that. I mean, I'm happy he did it. Well, I'm not happy.
I am.
It was it was a need. Like, they needed to do that. That, because that to me proved that Woody Johnson is like, I want to win. Like, I'm tired of being the same old narrative, so
To me, it was even we came back and made the games closer. We could have won them. It's the same tendencies that were going on.
Exactly.
Falling behind, not prepared,
Penalties.
Penalties, slow starts.
Well, exactly. This is the same old thing. Whether you play, yes, you missed the field goal, but you're also playing against a guy that threw 60 yards in a rookie. Okay,
Game should have never been that close.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, I
Should never
agree
let
with that
17
100%.
points. You should never have let the Vikings come down like that left and right.
They really had that defense really had no answers for Justin Jefferson either. I mean, like, I know he only had a couple catches, but the penalties were just ridiculous, especially against him. Some of them were like warranted, some of them, maybe not so much. But at the end of the day, it's like the coverage, I think, needs to be better, especially against these like top tier receivers. I get it. Like, I'm not trying to discount Justin Jefferson. He's very hard to cover, but that's why you drafted Sauce Gardner a couple years ago.
Mhm.
I want him follow. Do you guys think that he's going to be following more, like shadowing more, or do you think he's going to stay the same?
That is a great
Yeah.
question.
That's
That
it.
is a great question. And I say that because, you brought up the coverage with Justin Jefferson. It wasn't just Sauce covering. It was DJ Reed, Tony Adams,
Right.
Isaiah Oliver. That's a question I think we could have brought up possibly in the earlier show, where is Jeff Ulbrich going to allow finally Sauce to travel? And that's the question I think you were bringing up, Liam.
Do you think he will?
I hope so. I'm going to go yes. I'm going to go affirmative.
What do you guys
that
think?
goes to playing that goes to playing man coverage,
Yeah.
man on man.
Yep.
I
We will
hope
find out Monday. I hope so.
But
Yeah,
DJ
don't turn
Reed's
him
having
into
an
Richard
awesome year
Sherman.
too, though. What's that,
Yeah.
Ephraim?
Don't turn him into Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
They only played one side, no matter what.
Yep.
I mean, but the thing is, too, our secondary is having a hell of a year. I mean, our corners right now, if I'm not mistaken, they're 1-5 out of all the corners in the league. 5 being, Sauce, and 1 being DJ Reed as the best corners in the league right now. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're keeping us in those games. I keep saying thank God for our secondary, because it would be a different story. The one that I'm worried about is the defensive line. That's where I worry about stuff, because let's keep it honest. If Aaron Jones was in that game, right, we're talking about firing Salah in the second half of that game, because he was gashing us. He was gashing us in that game.
Yeah. I guess Ty Chandler, I guess, kind of did us a favor, but even Ty Chandler had a good game too. It's just like whatever it is, like the Jets just struggle. The Jets' defensive line just struggle against the run. I don't know if that's going to get cleaned up. Like I said, like I'm not expecting to see major changes, especially on the defense.
Right.
maybe at most like Sauce will travel. But like other than that, I don't see a whole lot changing.
Well, you got what's his name coming back, Fatu. So
Yeah, Leaky
that
Fatu.
could make it, put other guys back into the regular positions. So
You want to make a statement? Put Sauce in the edge and let him blow it up like he did against Tua, that one thing. And then right then and there, I'm like, oh, baby, let's go.
Set
Ulbrich,
tone.
set it right then and there. Show us that, if it is freaking Aaron Rodgers, right? And it's the offense in the very beginning. Go ahead and do a play action and throw it for like 70 yards because we're asking for that and we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen a bomb yet, in the whole off season. Oh my gosh, guys, get ready, man. We're about to see Garrett Wilson just run a fly and he's just gonna catch this ball that's gonna be thrown like 60 yards. It's gonna be magical.
you know what I want to see? I want to see the same output they did against the Patriots, just like that. Quick, boom, bing, 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 bing. Keep 40 minutes on the offensive side. Let their defense, let the other opposing team's defense be on the field and then wear them down. The efficiency, 8 different guys getting thrown at. Who you covering? That's how like Belichick did with Brady. Short passes, boom, 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 boom. Just kept moving down the field.
Yeah, I'm cool with them just getting first downs. However, it is
Yeah.
like Johnny, but like you said, like the big bomb. Like I want to see that big 70-yard throw too. But if they're just getting first downs, moving the ball, like I'm cool with that. Like if you have to dink and dunk, it works. It
Yeah.
does work, and it seems like they
And-
kind of have success, like with the short passing game.
And they'll stop playing up more, and that's when you can throw the big bomb as well.
Yeah. Do you guys sense like a new sense of confidency within this Jets offense that like they might start playing like a little bit like more loose because it almost feels like Zach Wilson's back there, like Johnny Boy. You didn't want to say his name, but like that's almost like Aaron Rodgers is back there, and it's like
Look, he's traumatized.
yeah.
You said Zach Wilson, he's traumatized.
I know. But like we're like I was celebrating a big first like Garrett Wilson's first down, Brees Hall's like first down. Like we should be like accustomed to that by now. And like we're not. Like it's like a big deal getting a first down. Do you guys expect to see like more of that now?
Liam, I say this. Look, when you got your quarterback throwing almost 96 times the last 2 games, getting sacked 8 times, hit 25 times, right? I don't care who you put back there. They're not going to have good games like that. They're going to have turnovers like this. There was somebody, I forgot who it was, but they were saying in regards to, if Patrick Mahomes, like we need Aaron Rodgers to be like a Patrick Mahomes. And I'm like, what? Like, are you guys nuts? There's no way. That's never going to happen. Patrick Mahomes is what, like 30?
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago, but
you know what I'm saying? Like it's insane the expectations that we're having, that we're wanting Aaron Rodgers to play hero ball, right? We want him to be MVP, stuff like that. When in the very beginning of the season, we were like, we just want a competent quarterback that's going to get us the first downs. It's going to get us touchdowns. We're going to play with a lead, so then we could really see what this defense is truly made out of.
We need Flacco back. He's kicking ass.
You saw that 345? I think he threw for.
Yeah.
Hi, Elmo.
everyone say hi, Elmo.
Oh,
Hello, Elmo.
No
yeah,
bad
he's,
blood on this channel.
We
But,
don't need Fudjo Flacco.
No.
I'm keeping it PG. I'm keeping it family friendly. He can fudge off.
Yes, he can. Go
One
fudge
thing
him.
I'd like to see- I know they're going to split carries in the backfield, but does Ulbrich, because it seems like it's more of a power running game, and Downey has the history with Derrick Henry and Marshawn Lynch. Do they go with Braylon starting the game in
Why
the
not?
backfield?
I
Why
would.
not?
But that's the
Yep.
question.
We all just
That's,
gotta said it. Yeah.
that's the question right there. That's the one that's the move we see if this is really gonna be Brick's team or is this an extension of what Salah was doing before? You know
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm really curious to see, and like I hope like this doesn't come true, but like if Aaron Rodgers is like throwing like 3 interceptions or just like having like a really rough game Monday night, do you see any situation that they put Tyrod in? Like, listen, like your ankle's banged up, you're not having a good game. Let's just kind of sit you down for a little bit.
If
Hell
it
no.
comes
They
down
did
to
it with
that,
Peyton. They benched Peyton Manning in Denver.
That's true. They did.
He was also coming off the injury, Liam.
Well, so is Rodgers.
Peyton had no arm. Peyton had no arm.
If it
So
comes down to an injury type of thing, yeah, to say, hey, look,
injury, yes. Performance, no.
No.
That
I agree with Elmo on
But
this.
what
Like
if
this
yeah,
is
injury?
I don't expect them to have the same game.
Yeah.
I don't either. Like Aaron, that was very uncharacteristic for Aaron Rodgers.
But what if his injury is affecting his throws, right? His leg, his knee. You know, what if he can't step into these throws? That's the problem, where he throws interceptions, where he's underthrowing
we
receivers.
kind of saw that. We kind of saw that in the second half after he got bent back.
Absolutely.
The Garrett Wilson miss and the Mike Williams throw for the back shoulder when it was underthrown.
Yeah.
You know, if it was thrown a little bit more higher or closer to Mike Williams, you'd probably get the flag there.
It's true.
Absolutely.
If that happens, right, and they go ahead and do that, then your locker room is gonna break.
You think
That's
so?
simple, man. Oh, dude, Aaron Rodgers.
I think. See,
Breaks. I think it breaks certain fans, Johnny.
Nah, bro.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it
Yeah.
breaks the locker room.
well,
He has
Johnny,
a
what
lot.
is your reasoning?
He has a lot of respect, man, in there. You know what I'm saying? People, the narrative of Aaron Rodgers has always been that he's a selfish player. He's this, you know, he doesn't talk to the rookies. He doesn't go out to outings with the team and stuff like that. And all I've seen Aaron do is go to Rangers games, going to Yankee games, stuff
Trying to
like that.
change it. He's in he's in a bigger media market.
with all
He's
his
that he's in a bigger media market than he was in Green Bay. So, and
See,
him not liking rookies is he doesn't like rookie receivers. That's a fact
yeah.
because he doesn't trust them. He has no chemistry with them. He wants his veterans out there.
But
again, it's just like for myself, right? And my explanation and stuff with Aaron Rodgers, for me as a player, you saw he was limping off the field, right? We got the ball right back, and he said, "Oh shit, I'm coming back in, guys, and I got you guys." For me, I'm gonna jump through a wall for that kind of player
of
like that.
course.
You know what I'm saying? Like those
Yeah.
are the things that he's earned with
Yes.
all of the players that he has right now. I
But
can't see it. I like Tyrod though too. Tyrod.
But to play devil's advocate, and like I don't like want to like spend too much time on this because I don't want to bring that bad energy in. Like Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna have a great game. But if he has a game Monday night like he had against the Vikings, especially that second half, you know, well, really the whole like it was a really bad game, and he's all banged up. See, like to me, like that's not gonna break the locker room. That's gonna show this locker room that even Aaron Rodgers is not above the team. Like you want to preach accountability. I don't care if you're Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if you're like the water boy. The water boy, you're spilling water, you're done. You go in the locker room. Aaron Rodgers, you're having a bad game. Come out for a little while. Tyrod, get in there. To me, like that's accountability. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers or not, that's accountability.
And you know, teams will, you know, the Johnny, you know this as much as we all do. The media will start to question Ulbrich and him keep talking about accountability.
Well, the
As
media is
much as
going to question it if Rodgers is washed, you know. So like no matter what, like Aaron Rodgers, he's always the subject of conversation. But if Ulbrich has the balls to bench or at least pull Aaron Rodgers for a little bit, like that's a ballsy move, especially for an interim head coach. But like I think that would like really like put the locker room on notice in terms of
I think
accountability.
it's going to be based on what the score is. Like
So
if they're down by 7 or 3, I think even with let's say 3 interceptions in the game, I think he keeps Aaron in the game. I think if they're down double digits, he's going to pull them.
I agree.
Yeah, like I don't think it's gonna be like loosely just pulling Aaron Rodgers to show like I'm the head coach now. But like if he's throwing multiple picks, he's like not mobile out there. You could tell he's clearly in pain. Like we've all seen like the little meme now of like Rodgers like on his knees like crawling, and it's like it was like sad to watch. It was scary, you know. Like if he's having that kind of game because like the Bills defense like it's gonna be ruthless. Even like the Bills have kind of come down to earth a little bit these last couple of weeks. Their bad game against the Ravens. I mean, with Salah, you can argue that they like that Bills team would have beaten the Jets that week. You know, like that's how bad they were playing. But with Aaron, like if he's getting hurt and like this and that, like yeah, I would pull him at least for a little bit. Go sit down, ice up, you know, tape up your ankle, whatever. Like it's not permanent. We're not saying he can't come back in. I mean, like the the chat kind of disagrees. Like you don't plus, but yeah, he was kind of playing like Zach a little bit. Like not that bad. Nobody plays as bad as Zach.
He
Yeah,
threw the ball 54 times, and
no, I know. Like I'm not
just
like trying to shit on Aaron Rodgers, but you know,
I see what you're saying. Who's better, Aaron Rodgers or Tyrod Taylor?
Aaron Rodgers. He's better than 90% of the yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But this year, or like, are we just talking because like he has the respect of the NFL, like what he's done over his career? I'm just
talking about all time. Like,
of course, Aaron Rodgers.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole narrative. You're gonna want to, even if he threw 4 interceptions and all that, Aaron Rodgers.
It's going to be based on the score, John. 4 interceptions. They're down 14 points or more. You're pulling him just to save his ass.
I mean, I get what you're saying. That's what I'm saying, but I understand it. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're right on that part of it, because you don't want him to be hurt, because it's a marathon. It's not, a race that's like, so.
I'm not trying to make my argument sound better than like this guy's comment, Matthew Smith. It's like a pure fact. Like he did not have a good game. Like, and he was banged up like hell. Like his ankle's messed up. He has a sprained ankle. Like it's not like he's healthy.
Look at that second interception he threw. He completely airmailed either it was Garrett Wilson or Alan Lazard.
Yeah, Rodgers is not untouchable. Like he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We all respect the hell out of him, no matter what. Like you're allowed to have a bad game. But like that doesn't, like if it continues and like this becomes kind of like a problem where like receivers are just like not catching balls, like it's uncatchable balls, or he's dirting balls. Like there's been a couple throws you look at it, like what the hell is that? Like Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game, and if you're not having a good game, you want to you want to preach accountability. It doesn't have to be for like the rest of the game. Hey, come out for a quarter, come out for a couple plays, go get some water, tape up your ankle, and we'll talk. Simple as that.
I mean, but those are from the routes not being ran the right way. Dude, there was a whole bunch of times I saw Garrett Wilson quit on a route when he was supposed to go through it. And that's what I'm talking about in regards to the whole, like, yeah, Lazard dropped a whole bunch of balls. You guys are completely right. We saw it, it consistently kept happening and everything, but he would still run through his route. He always talked about that with Devontae. He always said that Devontae, no matter what, always ran his route. Sometimes he will continue to keep running, and he will go even all the way towards the end zone just to get used to scoring touchdowns and stuff like that, making it a thing. So, hey, boys, I'm heading out, man. I got to go. I heard the baby cry now. I wanted to come up here. You guys are killing as always, man. Liam, pleasure.
Score predictions for Monday night.
We beat the living bricks out of the Bills, and I have it, I think I said 27-10. Jets. Like it's that. Wow. Like the defense is going to be firing at all cylinders, man. Like they are going to be.
You're right.
You're right too, brother.
So hey, I appreciate all you guys, Armand. Afrem. Hey, guys, everybody here. Other than the Yankees hat that he has on right now, let's go,
John.
Med. Let's go.
Before you go, more confident to face the Dodgers or the Padres?
I'm not scared of either or.
Yes, sir.
But honestly, because
I'm not either. But who more confident? I'll tell you, I'm more confident against the Dodgers because of all the injuries to their pitching staff.
I was gonna say Dodgers. Padres, they got to go bullpen, man.
And Bueller sucks.
Yeah. All right, brother, go get the baby, man. Thank you for hopping on.
Thank you, Johnny.
All right, later. All right. So, how awesome is that? I mean, like he's very confident.
Oh yeah.
Armand, what are you thinking? What's your score prediction? Like, what are you expecting Monday night?
I'm gonna expect 27-24 Jets.
Okay.
But so here's some injury updates. Shakur and James Cook have not practiced for the Bills. Cook hasn't practiced 2 days in a row. Now, obviously, they played Monday night, so they had a second practice, which was yesterday. But he didn't practice yesterday or today. So I don't know if that's rest or for injury reasons for Cook. But Shakur didn't practice today, which, could be a help to the Jets with that Bills wide receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen anything about Josh Allen about
you, Fantasy
playing
Dog.
Monday.
Appreciate it. Yeah, as far as I know, like Josh Allen's fine. Like I'm sure we would have heard something by now. It's crazy. Like Elmo had mentioned that earlier. It's kind of crazy that he wasn't at least in concussion protocol because that was a nasty hit. That
Oh
was
yeah,
100. But like the thing, like it seems to be like kind of working for Buffalo, where like they don't have a true number one receiver. Like sometimes it is
spread the ball
Khalil
around.
Shakir, and then it's kind of like Keon Coleman at the same time. So and then like Kincaid,
Curtis
Knox,
Samuel.
Curtis Samuel. And Luca, we were talking about this like before we hopped on. That injury report, I don't have it pulled up here, but I didn't have time tonight. It's pretty lengthy.
It is.
I can
It's
kind
got a
of read
lot
it
of
off
names on
here.
it.
Um,
And I
give me a
think I
second
saw
here.
as well, like they listed Allen not with a concussion. They listed him with like a foot or a leg injury. Let me pull it up right now. Left hand ankle, full practice.
Yeah. So we have James Cook with the toe. We have Ed Oliver with the hamstring. Khalil Shakir with the ankle. Mac Hollins with the shoulder. Austin Johnson oblique. Tyron
Tyron
Johnson
Johnson.
Tyron Johnson with a forearm. Curtis Samuel with a toe. Curtis Samuel, he hasn't really been too impactful lately.
Not
Josh
yet.
Allen, like what you said, the left hand and the
But
ankle.
I just want to say another thing for defensive purposes. You have Ed Oliver, hamstring injury. I don't know if you mentioned that, Liam. I just want to put that out there real quick because interior offensive line for the Jets, their battle against Ed Oliver, that's going to be key. If he plays, doesn't look like he will, though.
Okay. Where is it? He's pulling. Cook was ruled out. Well, yeah, he did not practice, so like it's not like I guess like
It's
100%
trending that way.
He was not
confirmed.
ruled out, but it just hasn't been ruled out yet. We'll know
Yeah,
more.
so
I
then
guess
we
we'll
have
know on Friday or
Terrell
Saturday.
Bernard we got the pec injury with Bernard. Evans is also dealing with a hamstring. Ferguson Reed is dealing with the elbow. And then I mean the rest, Mitch Trubisky dealing with a knee, which is kind of interesting. Like I wonder if like that's why they're kind of pushing Allen to play because of their whole quarterback situation right now. If your backup's not good, like I don't even know who their third string quarterback. Oh, is it Mike White actually? I guess it'd be Mike
He's
White, right?
He's on the
Actually,
practice.
They could probably elevate him though. I'm sure if they had to,
yeah,
I think they'll if
like the
anything they'll
emergency quarterback rule.
yeah.
And I'll go over the Jets real quick. Michael Carter dealing with the back, which was also what was it, a hamstring too, at one point?
yeah.
Carter was an ankle, and Ulbrich said back now. Said that today.
That's what it was. And Tyron Smith, just doing with his rest day. Tyler Conklin dealing with the hip. I want to see so much more of Conklin if he's good to go.
That surprises me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by that too. And if he's not good to go, then like let's see what Ruckert has. It's about time.
Yeah.
Like Ruckert, like if he wasn't like the big Long Island Lindenhurst kid, he'd be off the team. Like he's
I
done
100%
nothing.
agree
He's
with that.
done
Or
nothing.
practice squad.
Yeah. Like I love Ruckert. I played against him in high school.
Wow.
So like yeah. I have like so much respect for him and everything. I want to see what he can do. Like he was a baller at Ohio State, so he's got to be able to do something.
I wonder with Conklin's hip, do they elevate another tight end? Because if
Yaboa?
you don't,
I'm cool with Yaboa or maybe Kuntz, whatever that. It's
You're
Kuntz.
gonna
I know
say-
how to read.
You ain't saying-
they'll go
Yeah,
Yaboa
Kuntz.
yeah, you ain't
because
saying-
Bates showed you he can't block. They would rather keep him as tight end 3, and you'd have Ruckert and Yaboa as your 2 tight ends.
Yes, he was good. He was like the whole offense. He had a pretty good truck on me too. I'm not going to mention that though.
Did you tackle him?
No, he ran me over. To be completely honest with you,
Go for the knee?
Oh my.
he didn't try to hurt me. I didn't try to hurt him either. Like it was just kind of.
then you
It
should-
wasn't
you
like a
should-
bad
I
hit.
would have
It
kicked
was
you
just-
off the field if I was your coach. If you didn't.
We were also 0-8, so there wasn't a whole lot going on with us. But
He quit on his
typical
team.
Salah player, just like Salah.
yeah, the coach was actually fired. He was fired at the end of that season too.
Was it
we've
Gase?
It might have been, yeah. He was like a younger, cooler version of Gase. He was a pretty cool guy, like overall. But it wasn't like a bad hit. Like he didn't like send me flying or anything. It was just he was a lot more powerful and a lot bigger. Like he stood out on the field. He did it all too.
No, yeah, totally. He was.
But Morgan Moses, yeah, like we all know, him with the knee. He should be good to go, right?
Yeah, he should be coming back this week.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what's-
and then CJ with the toe. What's going on? I know like turf toe is like a big thing, but like is he ever going to come back? What's going on with CJ Mosley?
I think what's his name? maybe Ulbrich spoke positive of him. Let me look up, see what they say. Let's see.
Oh, I think they said they're ramping him up. That's what it was.
Yeah, still working through his injury, so that's
He
more
should
like
be.
a
I mean,
guy.
I don't know. It is like a long,
The
lengthy
Jets,
injury, I
the
guess.
Jets might be better off this Monday with Sherwood
I like
to,
Sherwood.
to have more speed on the field, especially with the Bills' offensive weapons.
Yeah, where
Now,
was
I
that?
think with or without Cook, you're going to see Curtis Samuel in the backfield.
Oh yeah,
Buffalo has used him sparingly this year in the backfield as like a running back, like a Cordell Patterson. Now, maybe that changes if Cook is out because they got the kid. They got what, Ray Davis, the rookie,
They
yes,
got Ty Johnson too. Ty Johnson makes
and
right.
Ty Johnson. But
he
like you
makes
would see
plays.
that the three-headed monster of Johnson, Davis, and Curtis
And Cook.
Samuel if Cook is out.
Yeah, I mean, like Curtis Samuel's dealing with something too, though. He's dealing with a toe injury, so not good for these toes around here. I'm telling you that, you know. But and then yeah, Aaron Rodgers with the ankle. Do you think that's really going to impact Aaron Rodgers, like this ankle injury? Because he was looking in rough shape with that ankle on Sunday.
On throws, yes, especially deep throws, especially if there's. I mean, if this offensive line cannot pass block for him, that's getting in his face is gonna because he's gonna want to try to move out of the way. That ankle is gonna be a hindrance.
I hope not. So
You see how
I guess
you see
we'll
how
get
bad
ready to wrap it up. What's up, Ephraim?
see how bad it is. We'll see how bad
Absolutely.
it is.
Yeah, I
You know?
guess just kind of see like during the game how he's moving around, what his mobility is. I haven't heard anything like just like going through like the beat reporters like during practice that like he's been easing up on it or anything. I haven't really heard much about it. I mean, like Roger said it's been sore. He was in rehab and everything when he found about Salah. So he's getting old, you know. It's just like he's
I
getting
think
brittle.
the thing that hit like that's gonna hide that, because now they're trying to all make the old brick notes and stuff to tweet out and reports and to give out the links to their clickbait stuff.
Yeah. And then like
It,
another thing too is like I'm really hoping that the running game comes into form. I really do because it's going to make Rodgers' life so much easier and like kind of give
Exactly.
him like that chance to heal a little bit more. But so I guess I'll start off with Luca. Like, what is your score prediction? Like, what do you think's going to happen Monday night, Jets Bills?
It's gonna be a tight game. I think the Jets are gonna come out firing, but divisional game. I think the Jets come out and win this. I'm gonna go. I think they hit 20. I'm gonna go 23-17 Jets.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I really do. Afram, what are you thinking?
That sounds about the same. I was going to say 21-17, but 24-17. And they got to
All right.
win because I at my 14-3 prediction, they already got to the 3. I need it.
They got to win out now.
I got to win out now, otherwise I look bad. So I got to.
Armand?
27-24 Jets. Rodgers throws for 260 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
See, oh, you guys are making me do this. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect.
We all don't.
No,
We
I
all
know.
don't.
I
We
know.
all
Like
don't.
I'm thinking about it because like I want to be
But
positive.
think
Like
about
I
it.
want to say
No,
what?
think about it positively. If Salah was still here, we'd be thinking negatively.
That's true. That's so true.
Like think about it. We are in a position right now. Expect the unexpected from Monday, but think of it in a positive way. I mean, Ulbrich has, everybody has taken his 2 press conferences, today's and yesterday's when he was or 2 days ago when he was hired, in a positive manner. So like that's all we could do is take it in a positive light.
Exactly.
That, oh, sorry.
Come on,
Yeah,
just give a score, Liam.
yeah. All right, fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. 24-21 Jets.
There you go. Look,
There
was
you
that
go.
hard?
Finally grew some marble.
Yes, it was a little hard
Like
because
Woody just grew some balls right now. Just
Yes. Yes.
all right.
Yes.
You guys are right. You guys are right. I hope so. Like I'm gonna be there. Like I want a good game. I want like another Jets. The last game I was at was Monday night, week 1 last year. So, and I missed
Yeah,
Rodgers.
you know, the good game,
I've never
the
seen
Jets,
Rodgers. What?
a good game is the Jets winning. It doesn't matter if it's by 3, by 7, or by 40.
By
A
one,
good
yeah, I'll
game is
take
the
it.
Jets getting the W.
What's up with the Bears here? The Bears comment.
The Bears, he said.
The
Yeah,
Bears.
Bears.
He
Ditka
might be a
versus the
Bears fan, but
Hurricane.
he said he subscribed to us, and he says we got a great thing going.
Yeah, I appreciate you, fantasy dog.
Ditka versus the Hurricane.
Appreciate
Is
it.
the Hurricane
And then
called
the other thing,
Ditka?
yeah, Ditka. I saw Mike Tyson versus the Hurricane. So what are you guys thinking about these? We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. Afram, I'll go to you first. What are you thinking? Bringing these back for one game.
I like those. Those are nice. I always like them in that color scheme.
I just feel like once Nike kind of took it over, like it really kind of like ruined
Exactly.
it. Like that shade of green was disgusting under. It looked like a dumpster. I mean, I guess it kind of fit the timeline, everything that we've gone through. But this shade of green is so much better. Like once it kind of reminds me of like the Reebok one a little bit. Like I wish we would have had the Jets patch on like the left pec a little bit, but I'm just kind of nitpicking there.
Like
though.
I like Liam saying, I like the 98 to 2011 version of those jerseys, not the 2012 to 2018.
Yeah, I remember like 2015 they had like that black square on the stomach kind like at times. Like I just didn't know what that was about.
Yeah.
And like the shade of green just completely changed. Like it went to like this like ugly, like almost like brownish gray kind of green. It's pretty gross. Armand, what are you thinking?
I like the jerseys. I just wish the helmet had the current logo on there instead of that logo because I don't like that logo. Or I wish the helmet, the Color Rush helmet,
Oh, like the more like shiny one.
the shine. Yeah,
I no, see like I see what you're saying. It's cool to do it like to go like all out for like one game, just like bring back like that logo. They're calling it the classic, even though it's only like 5 years removed. The I don't like the gray face masks though. I kind of wish it was like green or something, or even black. I mean I get they're trying to make it what it was like when they won the Super Bowl in '68. Like that's the face mask, but not a big fan of the gray face mask. Just my personal opinion. But yeah, for one game, like I'll be cool with it. I mean, I wonder if next year they're gonna like roll like a green version because they still sell it in stores. Like I see like the Keyshawn Johnson, I see Darrell Revis all the time.
I don't think they could add a New Jersey next year because they got New Jerseys this year. They have to wait. I think they got to wait like 3 to 5 years for a New Jersey.
Well, yeah. So
they keep winning with it. Would you be cool with it then?
I don't. I think what they'll do is they can add yes, I don't care if they could win. They could wear a tutu and win. I'll be happy.
Exactly.
But remember, they'll probably add a third helmet next year.
Yeah.
I don't advise you to do this.
No, I would not.
Jets. Rule number one is I love the Jets. We all do here. You
might as well bet your firstborn child. If you're going to bet your life savings.
That's like saying that statement is bold as an understatement.
Can you say 9 for 30? Yeah. Armand, let's go Mets. Yeah, let's all go Mets. 41 to 17. I hope so. I mean, if we're scoring 41.
I mean, those are defensive touchdowns.
Yeah. Hey, I'm cool with it. Like, let's get a pick six from Sauce. Like, can Sauce finally have an interception here? He's allowed to do those. You don't have to just cover guys. Anybody, really.
Let's be on the Allen so he doesn't run.
Yeah, that is true. And like, we just got to get after Allen. That's got to be like the biggest thing. Like, I don't ever want to see somebody get hurt. Like, I hope he doesn't get hurt, but like, we got to make his life hell. And like the thing is, like, he kind of like not really this year, but like historically, he's kind of played down to his opponent's level. Where like the Jets under Saleh at least like have played very well against him. I mean, up in Buffalo, it's kind of been a different story over the last couple of years, but at home, we've kind of owned them at least the last 2 seasons.
But the narrative if we lose to them is, what the narrative will be. We could beat him with Zach Wilson. We can't beat him with Aaron Rodgers.
I hope not.
That's narrative.
Even if it's a close league, though.
Even if it's a close game. That's why this is a must-win. Besides first place in the division, is
Luka, do you
to
think
keep
it's must win?
keep the narrative of we beating and being the kryptonite to them in our division. It's a must win.
Luka, do you think it's a must win?
For the sake of division and getting back on track this season, yes.
Afram?
He's must win. Every win is a must win.
You're right. Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. I was waiting for that. But yeah, I mean, like it's going to be such a big statement game. This team is alive and well. This team has been revitalized. If we can come out with a big win, so let's go for it, man. I really hope so. 31-10. He said he was really excited. No, you were right the first time. 41-17 is going to be the score.
Fantasy Dog, we'll take any prediction that's going to say the Jets victory. 31-10.
I'll take 3-0 Jets.
9-0.
Well, let's calm down because then people are going to cry, bitch, and moan about Todd Downing and the upgrade of where's the upgrade?
Oh my!
Yeah,
Right.
Imagine us. I don't want to talk about one thing before we go. The Bills game when they lost to Houston. If that happened to us, they would have eviscerated us. Okay, they didn't say nothing about that game. About the Bills messing that whole thing up. Okay, they would have tore us a new a-hole.
Yep. We have so
40
many at this
seconds
point,
left,
too.
and you're throwing from the end zone.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, the only one that talked about it was Mad Dog on First Take in his "What Are You Mad About" segment at 11:30 on Wednesdays. That's the only one that he brought that up along with Zach Taylor running the ball up the gut 3 times and not, and then kicking and the field goal attempt.
That's true. But on that note, I think we're going to get ready to wrap it up here. You guys have kind of gave me like that positivity I was looking for. That like I was all week, I've kind of been like, because like, and we could all agree, we don't know what to expect under Ulbrich. I think it's just going to be like a breath of fresh air overall, though. And yeah, find a way to get a win. Getting a first place in the division. It's going to roll, man. Any last words?
Last words, go Jets.
Go Jets. Go Rangers.
Let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. Let's go
Let's
Jets.
go Dodgers.
Let's go Rangers.
Let's go Dodgers. Friday, 8 o'clock. Let's go Dodgers.
You don't want to face the Padres?
I'm confident that they could beat both teams, but I'm more confident they could beat the Dodgers with the lack of pitching that the Dodgers have. They're going to start. It sounds like they're going to start Yamamoto on Friday, and he's probably going to go 3 innings. And like they might have to do a bullpen game on Sunday, unless they're going to start Walker Buehler. But like after their big 4, well, I'll say they might not even have Freddie Freeman because he has a bad ankle. He didn't even play yesterday.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Fantasy Dog. Really appreciate it. All right. On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for checking out the Jets Afterburners podcast. It's going to be a doozy heading into Monday night. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope we finally pull out that big win. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time.
Quarterback, Ken O'Brien of California Davis. Just 14 that first time, now going long. They got a wide open man, and he makes the catch. It's Braylon Edwards taking off. Braylon Edwards will take it home for the touchdown. 80.
First down in San Diego territory at the 47-yard line. Big draw. And Pennington going for 6. Deep down the field, and it's caught by Santana Moss.